Hello and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel Spelfriendly and Fellowship SDF. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking and this is more information from inside the studio on Warhammer Twitch TV. So just a bit of explanation first. Warhammer TV is basically Games Workshop's media channel. They do shows about painting, they do shows about rules, information about new releases, covering events, streaming battle reports, everything you love. But if you want to watch the stuff there when it's not live, you have to pay, I think it's about $5 a month for it. And I know that not everyone is able to purchase that kind of pass, but today there was an Inside the Studio with Adam Troke. Adam, of course, being the head honcho of the Middle-earth team at Forge World, and he had an interview on Warhammer TV, and it lasted for about 30 minutes, and it was cool. Nice to see Adam finally get on the stage and talk about Middle-earth on Warhammer TV. I know there is some problems with actually doing Warhammer TV stuff for Middle-earth because of the licensing. Things have to be approved, so they can only at this time show some pictures. They had, I think it was about 4 or 5 pictures they showed of existing miniatures. They didn't show anything new, but they talked about something new. So I wrote down everything that I thought was interesting at the event, well, not at the event, but at the stream, and I'll give you a rundown of the different things that was said. So, right out of the bat, Adam wrestles with hobbits all day. That's a direct quote from Adam. Don't know what to say about that. Could we have Jake? Could you make a tiny like wrestling mini game to be published in White Dwarf with hobbits? That would be awesome. And then Keith, could you make like a tiny hobbit Adam in like a luchador mask or something? I know Adam loves wrestling. I love wrestling, and yeah, could be fantastic. Just an idea from the Norwegian Viking. So Adam then gave props to both Keith and Gav. That's the 2 full-time sculptors of the Middle-earth team. They are doing a fantastic job of making the world of Middle-earth come to life in miniature form, and they deserve all the props they can. Games Workshop has an odd policy now not to credit sculptors on official packaging or on the websites these days, and neither in White Dwarf. So I do hope that changes, because I used to love flipping through White Dwarf back in the day and seeing like, okay, this model is made by Brian Nelson, this model is made by Jess Goodwin, and just giving that kind of props to the sculptors and the rules writers, of course, because Jay isn't given credit in the There and Back In book either. So I would love to see that happening in the future. I don't know the inside politics of Games Workshop on this subject, but I know that the Middle-earth team is watching this channel, so I hope you yeah, if you're able to give more props to the guys who do these amazing things. Jay makes the amazing rules, Keith and Gav does amazing models. It would be lovely. So Adam gave more props, loads of props at the start of the video, to the worldwide community. There is a huge story about the resurgence of Middle-earth at GW, brought upon by the resurgence of the Middle-earth community worldwide, and to have the product manager of the line go on Warhammer TV, and basically, and there's loads more about this during the talk as well, that they, at least the Middle-earth team loves the community and want to help us as much as possible going forwards. He went about the strange history of the Lake Townhouse. I'm sure we all heard that story at some point. That it was originally made years and years and years ago, when the Lake Town models were first to be released, and made in CAD, so digital sculpture, and then they just fixed it up a bit and released it as a plastic model in December, was it, of last year? Yeah, and it just sold shed loads, as Adam said. Alright, so I then talked a bit about the Masterclass models, Dane, Thranduil, Gwahir, that these models have been really well received and sells quite well. And I'll come back to the Masterclass models in a bit. First, like, not totally unexpected, but leak of information from Adam was that the crossbows for Ironhill's dwarves are due out within a month. And that seems to be in current with the release schedule from Warhammer Fest, that these models cannot be shown unless they are within the 2-month release window. So do expect those soon. Alright, so first mention of STF on the channel, on the Twitch TV channel, is that they did mention the Grand Campaign. They talked about some mad people doing a Grand Campaign, the whole narrative from start to finish. And if you're watching this and are new to our channel, please do subscribe, because we release one new narrative scenario each and every Saturday in the whole line. We've so far done 71 episodes, and there will be about 200 more, so we have material for the next 4 years as well. It's not filmed yet, and we are painting huge loads of models for it. I'm currently painting Smaug for it, as well as Lake Town guys. We are doing the Lake Town building, so we are going to go into Lake Town pretty soon. The first detour into Moria during the time of Durin the 6th. So then he talked about the Darren books selling out within 24 hours. Immediately asked for a reprint. This story, of course, has been covered before. That the higher up executives in charge of the numbers of books that could be ordered did not believe that book would be selling out as fast as it did. Alright, so I mentioned that people should get props for what they do. Again, Adam mentioned Jay, that is getting props for what was his first Lord Rings and Games Workshop written supplement. He published, well, Games Workshop published it, but he wrote it with help from Adam. That he's a bit more experienced on that part, but he gave loads of props to Jay, and totally deserved. The book is wonderful, and fits the narrative, and does a great campaign. And then, in a surprising note, I do believe he alluded to me, because he mentioned crazy Norwegian buying 14 Lake Town houses. I have to correct you, it was 12, and it was me who bought it. It was STF. So STF has 12 Lake Town houses, and we are in the process of making those right now. So going on to the future, so a bit less information than I was hoping for, but then again, I do believe that the slew of information will be revealed at Ardacon during the seminar there. So if you haven't already, do go to Ardacon, buy a spectator pass for £5 a day, or do come join the weekend in its entirety. It is an £80 pass for the entire weekend. That covers 3 events, including plus seminars, plus painting masterclasses, plus participation games, and loads more, painting competitions as well. So if you want to check out Ardacon, go to hotgatesgaming.com and or just Google Ardacon, and you will get all the information you need. James Clark's gets huge amounts of props for Ardacon at the Twitch TV event, and totally deserved. So first of all, he mentioned again the Ironhill's crossbow. They will be out within a month. Bard's family will be just after. and more model releases are expected during that time as well. He didn't mention the time slot, but Battle Companies is a book. We have mentioned this before. It is. He wasn't completely sure if it was 20 or 22 Battle Companies, because they just bumped the page count apparently, and it was confirmed that Hobbit stuff will be included in that, so do expect an Iron Hills Battle Company and stuff like that. And then a huge surprise, because they showed a trophy, and it looked wonderful. And for the first time ever, you will be able to win that trophy at Ardacon. I out of respect for Twitch TV, out of respect for Games as well, I didn't take a screen grab and just like put it up there, but it looks absolutely fantastic. It's like this big, about 10-12 inches tall. It was the ring like leaning over on a plinth, and it looks like insanely cool. The ring is filigreed with a black speech, and so forth, and it's like octagonal, so it has small scenes all around from the armies of Middle-earth. He mentioned the king's crown as well, and it's absolutely wonderful. The frescoes around it looked insane. So they talked about this being given to the winner of the singles at the grand tournament at Ardacon. So like the team championships is one part of the 2-day event at Ardacon. It's a 3-day event in total, but on the first day there's a doubles and a Chaos and Ardor event, and then on the Saturday and Sunday we'll have the full World Team Championships, with as well as a single winner being decided on the 7th or 8th game. And that winner will not only get the cloak and crown of the Ardacon champion, but will also get this wonderful trophy. And he also talked about bringing this trophy to Nova and Throne of Skulls in September. So so it is a trophy they have now produced, and they can give out to tournaments, which is wonderful. He talked about being able to give something back to the community that has supported them, and it looked fantastic. So I know it's not like a big, huge thing, but a trophy is, in my opinion, much better award than like gift certificate or a model. I would rather have a trophy or a certificate or something that showed that I attended this event and I did this well, than be given like £20 gift certificate from Element Games or something, although that is awesome as well. But trophies are the way to go, in my opinion. Alright, so they went on about buildings, because he came back to the Lake Town house, how well it sold, and at some point they mentioned that they probably didn't think they would make buildings again, but with the sales numbers of the Lake Town house, they are indeed looking at making houses again, or scenery kits. So what he mentioned is that when they are visiting a place in Middle-earth, they will be like so for instance, if they visit Rohan in a supplement, we might see Rohan houses either in resin or plastic. He didn't go into that so much. He talked about Forgeroll being able to produce brilliant resin kits, and GW making fantastic plastic kits. So it might seem we could get either or both, I guess. but more terrain kits are definitely being thought up in the studio. James is giving loads of props for Articon. They plugged it so hard during the event, and I cannot plug it more less. Like, Articon is a fantastic experience for everyone who are there. So if you aren't able to come and play the entire event, if you're new to Middle-earth, I do expect that GBHL will receive massive number of new people knocking on the Facebook door and wanting in after this Twitch TV, because they plugged that so hard as well. And I must say to both Adam and the interviewer, they really made a point about the community being such a great thing in the world of Middle-earth. There was also a wondrous shout out. That's of course Adam's team at Articon. And then they talked about Masterclass. So the Masterclass line of miniatures. So far we've seen Dane Ironfoot, we've seen Thranduil, and we've seen Gwaihir. So he mentioned that we will see more iconic characters from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So that's Middle-earth in total. And Elrond was mentioned, but then Adam said a curious thing. So he mentioned that there are 3 eras of Elrond. So you have the era of the last lines, where Elrond is the herald of Gil-galad. You have Elrond in the Hobbit era, and you have Elrond in the Lord of the Rings era. So which of these three eras would you produce a miniature in? And then somebody in the Twitch stream chat window said, make all 3. Make a 3 stages of Elrond box with all 3 Elronds. So I could like envision a Elrond on foot with a banner as the herald, and he talked about what kind of rules would the banner have. Ooh, nice, cool things. So I just saw that spark of imagination going through Adam at that moment. I'm like, okay, this is how magic is made. So I would consider like a 4 model box, having the Hobbit era foot mounted, the Lord of the Rings era on foot, and then having the Herald of Gil-galad as a separate cool model there as well. So 3 stages of Elrond would be absolutely wonderful. I completely concur with that idea from that person in the Twitch stream, and couldn't be more excited on more iconic characters in the character series, and also Elrond in particular. So he then went on to say that 2017 so far has been a great year for Middle-earth, and 2018 is going to be amazing. He didn't mention anything about the new rulebook coming out next year. He didn't mention anything about future releases like the Couple of Mercenaries or Hilda Bianca and Percy. Brago's mentioned, so wasn't mentioned. So there's still loads to be excited for. We do not know what releases they are bringing to Articon. If there are going to be new releases, I do expect them to announce that shortly, within the next week or so. So do stay tuned to this channel. I will strive to bring you all the information as soon as I get them. And yeah, so if you haven't already, do subscribe. If you want to support our channel in our endeavours, do check out the link to our Patreon below. You can support us for only $1 a month or more if you're so inclined. In return, you'll get exclusive videos every month, as well as cool merchandise and perks like discounts from vendors we love. So do check that out, and as always guys, do comment, like, share and subscribe. I've been Andreas Norwegian Viking, and happy strategy battle gaming.